大家好，我是疯狗马特森，今天给大家带来一个油管上一个大博主的被删了的视频，标题是 NBA 多年来一直在隐瞒勒布朗的最大秘密，删除原因不为人知。如果有需要这个原始视频的，请留言或者私信我。下面咱们一起来看一下这个视频，看后大家自有公论。
It seems like LeBron is not going to be slowing down anytime soon. In fact, it almost seems like he's getting better. But how? What's up everybody, it's Jimmy, and when it comes to sports, Father Time is still undefeated. One day, inevitably every athlete will have to come to terms with the fact that they aren't who they used to be. Every athlete except LeBron James. How has LeBron somehow transcended time, halted his aging process, and at one point even got more explosive as time passed? I mean, the man is a freak of nature, yes. He'll go down as one of the best athletes to ever touch a basketball. But there may be more to this story. Now, before I dive any deeper into this discussion, I want to make three things very clear. One, I will be making some very bold theories within this video, but I'm not accusing anyone. Within this video, there will be facts that when strung together seem to point to a certain conclusion, but I don't have any proof nor any authority on the matter. Two, if you've been following my channel, you know LeBron James is my favorite player of all time. This is not a knock on my man Bron. This is just an analyzation of a timeline of events that seem to all lead back to the same conclusion. And three, anytime I say the word in this video, I'm gonna censor it. Hey, people at YouTube, if you're watching this, nothing going on here. We're not talking about drugs or anything. Move along. Now, back when LeBron joined the league, there wasn't much speculation about his physical abilities. He was young, he was a physical specimen. But then the Miami era happened, and immediately people began to question what they were seeing. His muscle gain, his incredible recovery time, and his ability to play night in and night out with almost no rest. Like usual, people assume the worst. Steroids. Damn. It hurts just to say the word in context with Bron, but let's first look at the facts. For NBA players, there are basically three major ways to enhance your physical performance. Steroids, thought to be the drug of choice of all professional athletes, but this is actually not the case for NBA players. EPO, a naturally occurring hormone that stimulates the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells. Basically, it vastly improves your aerobic capacity. And HGH, otherwise known as the anti-aging serum. This helps regulate body composition, boosts muscle and bone growth, helps with recovery, and gives athletes a huge boost in energy. See, one of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to steroid or PED use is that athletes only take them to get swole or to increase their brute strength. And this is far from the truth. In the realm of basketball, steroids and PEDs can vastly help with recovery time, fat loss, healing after an injury, sustaining high energy levels, and increasing endurance. Yes, they'll make you stronger, but in the case of basketball players, that is more than likely the last reason why they'd be using PEDs. Now, back to our story. In Miami, LeBron became more than just a freak of nature. In fact, he became suspiciously inhuman. He gained 25 pounds of almost pure muscle, and he just didn't look the same. Add that to the fact that he only missed 14 games in 4 seasons in Miami, and this is where eyebrows began to raise. While his draft class peers and teammates began to slow down, LeBron was getting faster. Rolls his ankle, back the very next game like nothing ever even happened. Plays night in and night out, doesn't miss a beat, not once, and people were taking notice. Some of the effects to HGH use, muscle gain, hair loss, and cramping.
没错，勒布朗在迈阿密时期开始脱发和抽筋儿的情况，想必大家都知道。
The NBA knew they needed to look further into this. Back in 2013, an investigation into a steroid clinic in Miami found that a man by the last name of Paul would come to pick up products for a man with the initials LJ. LeBron's initials are LJ, and his agent's name is Rich Paul. This is the same clinic that in 2013 outed numerous MLB, NBA, and NFL players for their steroid use. Also, a lady that worked at the clinic, specifically their financial transfers, says that many of her coworkers are 100% sure that LJ was LeBron.
这儿有这个 Jessica 的爆料，网上都可以查到。这两个名字 Mr. Paul 和 LJ 基本上就可以实锤是谁了。
But as much as you could connect the dots, this is all just speculation. However, this wasn't even the most suspect PED-related event in Bron's career. Back in 2014, when LeBron rejoined the Cavs, you may recall him not looking or playing the same as years past. He had to cut all that weight he gained while in Miami and was back to 250 pounds. He said he felt better than ever. Yet, as the season got started, it was clear that he wasn't the same athlete. He wasn't as explosive or strong as he was just one season prior. And, well, that's pretty normal, I guess. Time goes along, athletes get slower, and you may find a way to get an extra hop in your step, such as losing weight. But it just so happens that around the same time period, the NBA was pushing to reform their testing on steroids and PEDs. It is speculated that LeBron had to fast and rid his system of all those performance enhancers he was taking over those past few years.
我想起阿里纳斯这人虽然没什么节操，立场左摇右摆的，但有时候他确实会爆料一些真相。阿里纳斯也说过，他们最初检测类固醇药物只是赛季初进行1次，后来改成了一个赛季随机进行3次。这时候可能勒布朗的服药被打断了，导致块头萎缩了一些。再到后来，有可能智能轮休的目的也不只是避开强队，也许就是肖华会提前通知有药检，所以服药的运动员需要休息1-2场的时间，去清理排泄掉体内的药物残留，好顺利通过药检。当然这些都是猜测，我们继续看这个博主的分析。
Again, this is speculation though, not fact. But then during the middle of the season, LeBron took 2 weeks off while the Cavs were struggling to go back to Miami to revitalize and rejuvenate. Now, is it just a coincidence that LeBron went down to Miami in the middle of the season because he needed some mental and physical rest? Possibly. And, well, this wouldn't be so hard to believe if LeBron didn't come back from the trip more explosive and energized than ever before. It just doesn't add up.
没错，这个就是非常让人怀疑的很不正常的地方。
Sure, LeBron spends $1.5 million on his body every year. Yes, he takes his health and wellness very seriously, but so do most professional athletes. I know LeBron is the definition of a freak of nature, but aren't most pro athletes incredible athletes in their own right? And don't a lot of them spend an immense amount of time and money on their health and wellness?
对，每年花费上百万对身体进行保养，这是网上一直鼓吹勒布朗保持身体的秘密。不过我想说，难道杜兰特、库里还有再早的科比这些顶级球员花不起这点钱进行保养吗？要是有这种逆天的功效，为什么其他超巨不用呢？还是说这几百万美元里，其实一大部分是买违禁药物的钱呀
？Why is LeBron the only player that can play 82 games in his 15th season, lead the league in minutes played, average better numbers than he ever has in his entire career, and not sustain even a minor injury? There just seems to be a missing piece to this equation. And again, I am the biggest LeBron fan there is. Growing up, the guy was my idol. I mean, I shaped my whole game around his. And to this day, he is still by far my favorite player in the league. In fact, he's my favorite athlete of all time. But sometimes you just have to critically think about these things. And I want to be clear, steroids don't just make you a great athlete. Your average basketball player can't just take steroids and instantly become an NBA player. But what PEDs can do is push you that extra little bit, that almost seamlessly insignificant amount that can push a great player to a phenomenal player.
是的，水平越高的运动员，哪怕提高 0.01 秒的成绩就越难。PED 这类药物就能帮助那些顶级运动员戳破那层窗户纸，想必大家都明白。所以这个视频到底是为什么下架？是收了钱，还是迫于 NBA 还是 Clutch Sport 的压力？这就不得而知了。
Now, you may be thinking, if LeBron was using performance-enhancing the NBA would have caught on to him a long time ago. And you may be correct, but consider this. There are two main types of tests, blood testing and urine testing. Urine testing being the test of choice since traces of these performance-enhancing linger around longer in the urine than they do in the blood. Or something like that. I'm not a scientist. In order to catch an athlete using a PED, a lab would first have to know the exact makeup of that its metabolites.
PED 这类药物不是大麻之类的已知药物，只要你足够有钱，据说上百万就可以让实验室给你专门定制一种药物，你就是这个药的唯一客户了。这样你就永远领先于兴奋剂机构，确保你永远不会药检呈阳性。
Basically, a testing lab can only identify if a PED was used if they first know it exists. So if a PED is untested and unknown, the athlete taking it can and will get away with using it. This is important because of one thing: designer drugs, or that are specifically made to pass these tests. Not only are they made to pass these tests, but they are constantly being reformulated and re-engineered to stay ahead of the testing curve. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of money. You can literally get performance-enhancing drugs tailored to your specific needs. Also, the NBA is known for having the worst testing and test protocol of all professional sports. It always has and probably always will. In the last 10 years, only 6 NBA players have been caught using performance-enhancing drugs. Over that same time period, 43 MLB players have been caught using PEDs or steroids. I mean, in 2014 alone, the NFL suspended 29 players for using PEDs before the season even started. And let's be honest, with the amount of money that's on the line, how many athletes are willing to take performance-enhancing drugs to get even a slight edge? Somehow LeBron has defied all notions of time and regression as if he's somehow immune to it. But he isn't. He's human just like the rest of us. Which leads me into my last point. Even if the NBA knew LeBron was on some sort of performance enhancement, I honestly don't think they would do anything about it. LeBron has surpassed superstar status. He is a sports icon. He brings in an absurd amount of revenue to the league, and he's everything you could want in a role model. A family man, great leader and teammate. In 15 years, he's never had any off-the-court issues. He's just as much of an asset to the league as he is to his team. And I truly think the NBA would avoid ruining his career by any means necessary. He simply means too much to the sports and to the business that is the NBA.
是的 ，NBA 肯定会想方设法保护詹姆斯。如果詹姆斯人设崩塌了，对 NBA 的形象得造成多大的影响？大家想想当年科比的英俊事件影响有多大？而且那个时候科比还没到联盟门面的程度，就造成了那么大的不好影响。还有瓜哥，为什么打进联盟就不受待见？不也是因为他的背景对于 NBA 的正面形象不利吗？然后他后来还顶风作案，发生那次尼克斯的那个群架事件，这些都跟致力于正面形象的 NBA 完全背道而驰。所以这些年，对于没有什么球技出众的优质偶像的 NBA 联盟来说，就必须要保护好詹姆斯这捧起来的唯一一根独苗。要是詹姆斯塌房了， NBA 的影响就太大。
But, I mean, we have to ask ourselves, does it even matter? The reason we pay to watch NBA games instead of going to our local rec gym and watching some scrubs play is because NBA players are big and strong and fast. They do things we could only dream of doing. And at the end of the day, the NBA is just a league for entertainment. Yes, for the players, it's more than that, but for us fans, that's what it boils down to. So I ask myself, if I am being entertained, does it really matter what's going on behind the scenes? I think what this guy commented pretty much sums this entire theory up. I want to watch superheroes play basketball, not regular people. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, until next time.
以上就是这个博主视频的全部内容。他在最后也2次问自己，到底这些事情重不重要？我想说，如果你去看一场音乐会，很多鬼都是预先录制的，你会作何感想？可能有人会说，你们所谓的竞技体育本身就是一场娱乐盛宴，所以何必纠结这些？所以你是觉得这种行为到底算作弊还是可以接受呢？这就见仁见智了。无论如何，我理解每个体育迷，甚至很多普通人都向往超级英雄的故事。然而我个人还是不接受这种作弊行为带来的超级英雄。哦对，我看到一个外国的评论挺有意思，说贾巴尔被一个机器人给抢劫了。这个话题有点像美剧《黑袍纠察队》一样，涉及很多社会与人性的方面，没法深入讨论。不过也说不定这个《黑袍纠察队》它就不是美剧，而是纪录片呢。但是简单点，为什么会有世界反兴奋剂机构的存在，并且像前阵子奥运会的紫薯事件一样，当涉及到我们自身的时候，那种面对不公平的愤慨有多强烈，想必大家都知道。我觉得作弊行为是对真心爱每个运动每个行业的人的侮辱。我相信这个世界上很多人对于勒布朗诟病的最大原因，就是他放弃了给他带来饭碗的本质，沉浸在运动本身带来的附加所得里越走越远，甚至不择手段。废话不多说，跟抬杠的人永远也不会说明白。我知道没有一个绝对公平的世界，但单纯的体育迷的世界里，想必人人追求的都是单纯的热血和竞技，不然在这个每天面对纷扰复杂的世界里，我们又何必去看那些体育比赛呢？好了，以上就是本期视频的全部内容了，感谢大家的关注支持，谢谢。